In this video, I'm going to share with you guys how to use the NinjaTrader ATM strategy, along with how to place a simple stop loss order using the ATM strategy, how to place a trailing stop order using the ATM strategy, and how to place an auto break even plus a trailing stop loss order using the ATM strategy. And as a bonus, I'm going to show you guys how to place the ATM strategy if you accidentally do an oopsie like that, you place a trade and you have no stop or take profit on. Now, in order to access the ATM strategies, we first need to go ahead and turn on Chart Trader. Now, if you come right up here, you'll see the icon list on top of your charts. If you select the one right here, where if you hover over it, it says Chart Trader, so click on that and then drop down to the second option where it says Chart Trader. Now, I'll bring up this column on the right-hand side. We'll see all the action buttons over here like buy and sell. Now, right down here is where we see what's called ATM. Right now, it's set to none. And if we scroll down, we're going to simply go here to custom. Here's a list of some of the ATM strategies I use, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this demonstration from scratch. I'm going to share with you guys exactly how everything works. So I select custom right there. Now, the first thing we want to do is come right over here to where it says quantity. And for this example, I'm just simply going to put 3 contracts. Now, one thing we need to determine is, the parameter type. Now, I trade the futures markets and futures are priced in ticks, but we can also do currency, we can do percent, we can do price, we can do ticks, or we can even do pips if you're a Forex trader. But since I trade the futures markets, I'm going to leave this on ticks. Now, here's where you want to be very, very mindful when you're setting up the ATM strategy, because we can click right here and add, and we can add as many targets as we want. But look what the problem would be. If we had 7 targets and we're only putting on 3 contracts, then obviously these other targets are just going to be a waste of time, because the ATM strategy, we're going to be out of a position before you ever make it anything past 3 targets. Now, one thing you want to pay close attention to, when you come over here where it says target number 1, if we have this selected, the quantity of 3, and let's say we have a stop loss of 30 ticks, then if we want to just do a basic, simple stop strategy, then what we can do is leave the profit at 0. I'm going to show you what this will do. Now, if I simply go ahead and I click the buy button, one thing you'll notice is we have a stop loss, but we do not have a take profit. And I'm going to show you guys some of the problems that can arise from this. If I simply go ahead and speed this up a bit, we can see price is going in our favor a bit. However, once price continues to go in our favor, do we have any way to exit other than a loss on this trade? And I would say no. Now, with Chart Trader, we can drag this stop loss wherever we want it. However, I don't think this is the best use of the ATM strategy. Now, before we dive into some of the advanced strategies, let's talk about the most common way that most traders use the ATM strategy. Now, we're going to come right back over here to where it says custom. Now, I'm going to share with you guys, once we get a fully ATM strategy all set up, I'm going to show you guys how you can also save it as a template. But for this example, we're going to simply click on edit. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to edit this, and here's how most traders would go ahead and trade this. They would put some type of take profit in here. Now, we can have multiple take profits on here by just simply clicking the add button. However, if you do this, make sure that target number 1, you're not getting out of all 3 contracts if you decide to set this ATM up to 3 contracts. We now need to set our profit target on the other 2 legs. So we're going to make this 40 and we're going to make this 60. Now I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now what we'll see is as we come over here and we hit the buy button, notice we have 3 different target locations on this trade. However, this still is not going to be the best outcome either. We'll speed this up and we'll see that yes, indeed, the targets do get hit. But notice, even though we've got some of the targets hit, do we ever mitigate any of the risk in this trade? And the simple answer is no. We're either going to get stopped out all the way up here or our take profit is hit. Now we can move our target around, and we can also go ahead and manually move our stop loss to break even if we wanted to go ahead and mitigate risk. But is there a better way to go ahead and move the stop loss? Now let's talk about a more advanced way of automatically moving the stop loss. We're going to come right back over here to custom. We're going to select edit. Now what we're going to do is where it says stop strategy, I'm going to simply click the drop down menu. I'm going to select custom. We're going to go ahead and make one from scratch. And what I'm going to go ahead is I'm going to say, okay, if we go 20 ticks and profit, Then I want to move the stop loss to break even. If I put this to -5, that would be 5 ticks below the entry point. If I put it to, let's say, 5 ticks, that would put it to 5 ticks in the money once price has already moved 20 ticks. For this example, I'm just simply going to hit this as 0. Now, if we want to use this type of stop strategy on a regular basis, you might want to go ahead and save it as a template. So I'm going to click Save as Template. And I'm going to go ahead and write a new name. And I'm simply just going to put A test. That way I know it's for this video. I'm going to click Save, click OK. Now I can go to all the other ATMs and select the very same thing. Just go A test. However, I'm going to warn you really on target number 1, we do not want, the stop loss to move the break even. I want to make sure that target 1 was actually filled before it's, trying to move an ATM. I want to make sure we have no issues. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and trade this as live. Let's see if we get a trade signal that is about to pop up. And here, what we're going to see in just a moment, we're going to see a green yin yang symbol right here, which is an enigma. Now, with an enigma, I simply go ahead and I enter the market. My stop loss goes below it. And let's see if the ATM does its job, meaning once target 1 is hit, will the stop loss automatically move itself to break even? I'm simply going to go ahead and, well, there we go. We got target number 1 out of the way. And let's go ahead and watch this play out. All right. Now, with this being said, we're either going to get stopped out for break even, or our remaining targets are going to come all the way back up here getting hit. And I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward this just a bit to see if we make it all the way up there, or if we actually get stopped out of this trade. Then we're actually going to go on to a more advanced strategy next, showing you guys how to actually have the stop trail price as it continues to work in your favor. And here we're going to see here in just a moment, I think we're going to see target number 3 is finally going to get filled. And what was great about this is once target 1 was hit, we basically mitigated our risk by essentially letting the computer, the ATM strategy and NinjaTrader, move our stop loss to break even. We don't have to sit there and try to grab and run around and grab the tag. And there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Targets filled. Now, before I go ahead and share with you guys how we go ahead and set up the trailing stop feature within the ATM strategy, if you guys aren't yet subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below, give the video a big thumbs up. I want to remind you guys, we are doing weekly giveaways on this channel. And I want to say congratulations to BK, the winner of this week's cash giveaway prize. If you want to make sure that you are eligible for next week's cash giveaway prize, it's very simple. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like these videos. Make sure you leave a comment on the current week's videos. That way you're eligible for the random winner. Also make sure you click on the link in the description box down below where it says giveaway. That way, if you're the lucky winner, I have a way to deliver your prize. Okay, now before we go ahead and talk about how to add an ATM strategy to a position that's already open, let's talk about how to trail the stop of our positions. Now, we already showed how to go ahead and move the stop loss to break even. Now, if we come back over here under custom, click edit, it brings us right back over here to this page. Now for target number 2, where it says stop strategy under custom, we want to click edit. Now we're going to leave everything up here for the auto break even. However, now we want to click step number 1. And what we're going to do in this instance is, now what we're going to do is we're going to set stop loss to +9 once profit trigger has hit 20. And we're going to put the frequency at 1, meaning every tick that it goes up, it's going to move up 1 for 1. Then we're going to click OK. Then we're going to come right down here to where it says target number 3. We're going to click edit, and we're going to edit that one as well, except for on this one. Once the profit trigger has been hit, meaning it goes 40 ticks in our favor, then it's going to go ahead and trail the stop up on a frequency of 1. So every time it makes a new tick, it's going to continue to keep the stop loss roughly 30 ticks behind the highest price. So let's go ahead and see how this example is going to play out. Once again, we're going to click OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that. I'm actually going to enter the market right now. We're just going to enter it, and let's see how this actually pans out in this instance. I'm going to try to keep it slow. There's the enigma. Now we should move our stop loss. We should see the stop losses start to move. All right. Now you go. There you go. You see one stop loss was moved to break even right here. One stop loss was moved to plus, I think, 10 ticks that we had it, which this one will probably get stopped out. Let's just see if it does or not. We can see if it starts moving. Okay, that one got stopped out. Let's see as we get close up here. Once we start going 40 ticks, let's see if this stop loss starts trailing price. And again, we just got to simply wait and see. Let the market pan out. Let's see the market start to work, and just keep an eye on the stop loss order. Does it continue to trail up once we went 40 ticks in our favor? Assuming that our different entry price is not going to get us stopped out on this trade. All right, we continue to watch it. Price continues to go up higher. And actually in this case, I'm just going to move that target up even higher. That way we can see the stock market continue to trail up. Now, I'm not saying this is the best of strategies, but this is one example, especially if you like trailing your stop loss. You can simply let the computer do the work. You do not have to do it manually. Let the computer do the work. Now let's focus on this stop loss order. Do we see the stop loss order starting to move as we start to reach upper levels? There we go. We moved it. It trailed up, but then we ended up getting stopped out in profit. So now let's take a look at the 3-step trailing stop loss. And what we're going to do is we're going to come right back over here to the same ATM. If you've already labeled it, just come right over here and click edit. And we want to remove target 2 and target 3 from this example. I'm going to try to make this a little bit easier. We are also going to put our quantity right up here to 1 just to make the demonstration a bit easier. Now I'm going to start the stop loss out at 30 ticks. We're going to go ahead and say we want a profit target of 100 ticks. So now what we want to do is under stop strategy, we want to select edit. Then we want our profit trigger. If it goes 20 ticks in our favor, then I want the stop loss. I just want to barely move it just so we can basically show for this demonstration. I want the stop loss to go to minus 25 ticks. So essentially what that is going to do is it's going to move the stop loss from a 30 tick stop loss to now a 25 tick stop loss. Then what I want to do is once the market has moved 25 ticks in our favor, I then want it to go ahead and trail by 30 ticks. We're going to leave everything at a frequency of 1. Then on step number 2, I want the stop loss to start trailing by 20 ticks. Once the market has went 40 ticks in our favor, then on the final step, on step number 3, once we went 50 ticks in profit, I want to tighten it up. That way we're not giving back much of those gains. I want to trail the stop loss by 5 ticks. Now we're going to simply click OK. Now let's go ahead and enter the market. And I went ahead and bought the market. Now I'm going to simply draw a horizontal line across where our stop loss starts out at. Then we're going to go ahead and hit play and let's see where it first moves up. It should move up by about 5 ticks. Boom. Right there. It moves up 5 ticks. That's the auto break even feature. Now let's see when step number 1 comes in, we should move up a little bit more. I think it's going to turn. Oh, you see it actually skipped. It went here. The market's just moving too fast. I think we're on step number 2 at this point. Then you're going to see it. Now you see it going really quick. At the very end, you've seen it trailing really, really tight. That was basically step number 3, trying to lock in any gains in case the market whips back. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be the best ATM strategy. I just want to make you guys aware of what is possible within the ATM strategy. Now, if you like the ATM that we set up during this presentation, come right over here to edit. Then you want to go over here to save template, and we're going to simply, I'm going to name this A test so I can delete this after it. Click yes, and then we can click OK. Now, anytime that we want to use this ATM, let's say we're on A1, I want to use A test, boom, I just click right over there to A test. Makes it very easy. All the parameters are already set up. However, what if we're looking at the market and we say, oh, I want to get in. And you're like, uh-oh, I forgot to have my ATM selected. How do we go ahead and apply the ATM strategy to a trade that is already open? Now, don't panic, because if you right click on the chart, you can see where you have buy and sell and things like that. You don't see the ATM anywhere on here. However, we can always come right over here to the close button and close out the trade. But you might say, Mike, I don't want to close out the trade. I still believe in this position. So I go ahead and put it back on. One of the things that we can do is we can come right over here to our control center, go right under the tab that says positions, left click on your position, then right click on it. You want to put apply ATM. Now, all the ATMs that we already have saved, we can go ahead and select. So for this example, I'm going to put A test. Then I'm going to move this control panel out of the way. And now you can see our ATM is already in play. Now, if you're like, the stop loss is a little bit too tight, you can still go ahead and grab your stop and grab your target if you want. And what I actually do is I set up an ATM that doesn't have any auto trail features in it. If if I accidentally put a trade on and forget to have the ATM, that way I'll just manually move the trades. And that way I ensure that if my stop loss or take profit is hit, then both positions will actually be closed out. Now, if you guys would like to learn 3 highly effective volume profile trading strategies that I still use to this day, watch this video right here.